Okay, it seems to be working now. Those of you watching the video, I had it upload and I don't know what just happened. I think it was Gustavo's fault. So on number 11, we need to get the m by itself. What do we have to do first?
Multiply 2.
Multiply by 2. Good. Now I give you 2k equals mv squared. Okay, so this problem, anybody got a guess on how we're going to get the m by itself?
Divide by v.
Wait.
But what's with the v?
You gotta say for square root.
So, no. We're not trying to get the v by itself, we're trying to get the m by itself. Since the v is squared, you just move the whole v squared. You don't have to find the square root on this one. The only time you find the square root is whatever variable is being squared, you got to get that by itself. So we're literally dividing by v squared. So
basically,
it's just
whatever the variable you're trying to get by itself is squared, that's when you do the whole.
exactly. So whatever variable is by itself, if it said solve for v, then we would have had to square it or take the square root of it.
But since it's b
That-
squared,
Yeah.
the squared is not with the n, you
Yeah.
don't have to.
Exactly.
That might confuse me just a little.
Yeah. So, guys, we're going to spend. Normally, I go over like we don't spend much time on these things, but we're going to spend some time on this because this is one of the harder things. And it's not that hard. It's just so different than what you've been doing. Okay. So number 12, we're trying to get good. Trying to get b by itself. So we first multiply by d, and that gives us ad equals b plus c.
Now you're going to subtract c.
Good. Subtract c to get,
So it's going to be a, b, subtract c.
so it would be ad minus c equals b. So the goal is just to get whatever variable it's asking for by itself. All right. I want y'all to try to get 13 and 14 on your own.
Don't even know about
Actually, do 13, 14, 15. Wait, is 13 confusing you? You want me to do 13?
13's
Yeah.
not, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's got.
All right, so on 13, we're first going to subtract, get rid of the L. So we're going to subtract 2L. You just subtract that whole thing.
Okay.
So that'd be p minus 2l.
P, P minus 2L equals 2W.
That's what I want.
And now we're going to get W by itself, so we're going to have to divide by what?
2.
2. So that would give you,
b minus 2l.
p minus 2l over 2 equals w.
you're close. So what we're going to do is we're dividing by 2 on both of these things.
So when you divide to
So this would be P over 2.
Minus 2l over 2.
Well, what is negative 2 divided by 2?
1.
Negative 1. So all you're going to do is minus 1L or just minus L equals
So
W.
you did -2 since it's a number, so you did -2 divided by 2
Yes.
and got one negative L.
Negative 1, but you don't have to put the 1 because we don't put.
Okay, I get that.
Now, if you,
That just throws me off.
okay, so I'll do problems like this with you until you get the hang of it.
Confusing, but I'm kind of.
Yeah, so whenever you're doing that, basically you're dividing each one of these by 2 separately. Yes.
That's the reason.
So this is one of the few times with this where you actually do have to do a little bit of math. Okay, so try 14 and 15. Those shouldn't be too confusing. So let's go over these together. What did y'all do first on number 14?
Subtract AX.
Good, subtract AX.
Aren't you cool?
So that would give you BY equals C minus AX. If you put negative AX plus C, that works too. Whichever way.
That just makes me confused.
Yeah. So now we got to get Y by itself. So Seth, what do you think we got to do to get Y by itself? Well, what is that? B. Yeah, that's B times Y, so we got to divide by B. So that would give us y equals c minus ax over
I put
b.
y on my other side because it confuses me when the y's on the left side. Like when the variable by itself is on the left side instead of.
That's exactly what I.
Well, a lot of times the variable is on the left side. But yeah, what if you put it on the other side, that's fine. All right. So on number 15, we're trying to get x by itself. So what are we first going to do?
You have to subtract b from y.
What?
Oh, no, you don't. Never mind.
Number 15.
15. Yeah.
Minus B.
I thought you
No,
said
minus b.
A.
No, I said b.
Okay.
And
So it's
then
gonna be
divide by m,
y minus b equals mx,
and then divide by m.
and then divide by m to get the x by itself. So you just have y minus b over m equals x. What do you think?
It's not
Yep.
awful.
Who all got both of those right?
A,
Okay, so the majority.
I think I could do 16 by myself.
Well, what do we have to do here? Just help me out. What do we have to do first?
Combine like terms because there's two
No,
things
be
there.
No,
quiet.
no, no. There's no combining like terms with this.
Subtract PR. No, you
Mm,
subtract P.
yeah, subtract p first. So it's going to give us a minus p equals PRT.
And then you divide by pr.
Good. And then we divide by PR.
Okay, I get it now. So it'd be
So it's going to be a minus p over PR equals t. All right, now 17, if you remember at the top it says remove fractions by multiplying by the reciprocal. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply by what?
I mean 9 over 5.
9 over 5, because that's the reciprocal of 5/9. And that would give us 9/5 C equals F minus 32. So now how are we going to get the F by itself?
Add 32.
Add 32. Those are going to cancel out. And we'll have 9/5 C plus 32 equals F.
that one's a little confusing, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Wait.
You just have
Got
to,
confused.
I think that was actually the easiest one we've done so far.
well, it was just kind of, it's different.
Yeah, that's it. That's the easiest.
Yeah, it is different because you got the actual fraction.
Yeah, but then you just.
You times by the reciprocal, and then the opposite of minus 32 is plus 32.
Plus, and then you're left.
I might get a little bit of help just to figure that
And
out.
if y'all know what this formula is, you'll learn this probably later in chemistry. That's how you go from Fahrenheit to Celsius.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, if you ever need to convert the degrees. Okay. And then 18. 18, we gotta get B1. B1 by itself. So what are we first going to multiply by?
Your reciprocal.
The reciprocal, which
2
is
over 1.
2 over 1, or just 2. And that's going to give you 2A equals H B1 plus B2. And that's base 1 and base 2. This is the area of I believe, a trapezoid. So now, how do we get what do we have to do now?
You got times.
It's A times B1.
We can't think about backwards PEMDAS, so we got to go, the parentheses is the last part.
So add and subtract.
So we got to get rid of this H. How are we going to get rid of this H? Divide by H. And that's going to give us 2A over H equals base 1 B1 plus base 2 B2.
And then you subtract b2.
And then you guys subtract B2. Good. So that would give us 2A over H. Yeah. Oh, I put that 2 in the wrong spot. It's not an exponent. That's it should go down the bottom. So you get 2A over H minus B2 equals B1. And problems like that, we're gonna have to do some more practice on because those
Yeah.
17, 18 get a little bit harder.
It kind of gets confusing, like if you look at it the first time and that's the first problem you see, that.
Yeah. So now just work on the